for race number 3 in the Joe Gibbs Racing Offseason Sim Series powered by Interstate Batteries. John, let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's starting lineup. Inside of row number 1, I talked to him before the race. He said, boy, I hope they pick Dover, and I think we know why. Trey Edson sets quick time here at the Monster Mile. To his outside, Mr. Excitement in the number 88, that's Jason Jacoby.
I think Edson's lead's been cut down quite a bit by that 88 of Mr. Excitement, Jason Jacoby back there.
It has 3.5 tenths last time by. This time by at the line, it's down to just under 3 tenths, almost 2.5 tenths. So Jacoby definitely closing the gap to that number 10 machine early on here at Dover. John, catching him is one thing, passing him, though, here at the Monster Mile, a completely different.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, Jacoby has had a rough several weeks here, just not here in the JGR series, but also over there in the Sim 500 series. He's been close to victory several times, only to have some really bad luck or maybe a pit road incident bite him in the butt. So, personally, I'm kind of pulling for the kid. He's a nice guy. I've talked to him a few times offline. I hope he pulls it together tonight, but he's like you said, he's got one thing to get up to Edson, and we both know how Edson drives. So once you get up to him, getting by him is going to be a whole different ordeal.
Harrison Wideless in that 72, a little bit further behind those guys, starting to drift back on the outside line. John caught up around the outside here at Dover. You see Chad Cole working to the inside on that number 82. Watch how close they get off turn 2 here. Man, it tightens up down the front and down the back straightaways.
Absolutely, man. The momentum the car carries come off the turns, carries it straight up to the wall, so you got to be real careful, which is like you said earlier, once we get some rubber down on that outside groove, that's going to be the place to be, because that inside groove has to let up to make that car turn and to keep it off the wall as they come off the turn. If there's a car out there, he's going to lose some momentum while that car just keeps on going.
Absolutely, and up front, here we go, the battle for the lead shaking up between Jacoby and Edson. Jacoby has caught that number 10 machine. We mentioned it, though. It's going to be hard to pass early on with no rubber up on that outside groove. We're a tenth of the way through this race as we complete lap 10, working on 11 of 100 in the Joe Gibbs Racing Offseason Sim Series, powered by Interstate Batteries. You're watching it live on the Sim Racing Network, and incident on the back straightaway. Looks like he kept it straight.
Yeah, I believe that was the 11 car of Nigel Standish. Brought it out just a little too far there, like I talked about earlier. He rubbed a little extra paint off his car there. It looks like he's fine, though. Back up front, we've got quite the battle going on for that lead, it looks like, Ben. I look for Jacoby. He's probably going to have to move Edson out the way. I'm not saying wrecking, but he's probably going to get up there and get him just a little loose, get him to wash up a little bit to try and get under and make the pass.
Or you get up there, pressure him enough to make a mistake.
Absolutely.
And then make the move there. That's how a lot of these drivers like to work, almost throwing it back to Dale Earnhardt. Then you got to intimidate them to move them up the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, you look up, you got a mirror full of this guy that everybody knows. He loves to race hard, and you see him coming, and you're not paying attention to your entry, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you've gone in too hard, and you're going to wash up. So that's one way to do it. And we know how Jason Jacoby drives. He's a hard charger, man. I love that kid, the way he drives.
It's always fun to see. He always puts on a show, and these two guys out in front have opened up over 2 seconds to lead as we are still on board with Jason Jacoby as he is just breathing down the neck of Edson. Look how close he is down into 3 there, John. He's almost touching the bumper of Edson at the end of the straightaways.
Yeah, and I tell you what, watching his entry into 3 there, he loses just a hair of ground going through the middle, but really gets a good surge coming off the turn. That's very impressive. And now he's going to try and work that outside just a little bit. Look at him. He's peeking out there, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make that kind of a pass just this early in the race.
Boy, these guys are going at it, and Edson is doing everything he can to hold off the 88's charge, but Jacoby is doing everything he can to get around that 10. You see him peeking up. Watch him down in 1 and 2 here. If he goes to the outside line, he does. He's all over the bumper. He almost gave him a tap in the center of 1 and 2 there, John, and had to check up there. Lost a little bit of time, but not much. He's right back on the rear bumper again as we work lap 16 of 100 at the Monster Mile.
Watch this run. He's going to get coming up off of 4 right here. Man, he gets right up to the bumper going down into 1. You can't help but, oh, there you go. He got him to go up a little bit. Is he going to be able to make that pass, you think, Ben?
I don't know. Edson pinches him down off 2, and you see Jacoby, can't put the power down on that inside line. That's why he's been testing the waters on the outside line. You see Edson now moving up the racetrack. He knows he can fend off that 88. charge on the inside, and man, these guys going at it for the lead early on here at Dover, putting on a show. Here comes Jacoby, a charge again. He washes up the racetrack, puts the hammer down off 2, and still cannot make the pass on that number 10 machine. It's a very methodic way. You have to plan it out here at Dover to make a pass.
Absolutely. You got to do it almost a couple laps in advance, Ben. And I tell you what, as hard as these guys are driving each other, it begs the question, what's this doing to their tires? We know tires are very important here at Dover. I can't help but think that they're going to wear each other out and wind up letting the rest of this pack catch back up to them here shortly.
Boy, Jacoby went about as high as anybody's been so far this race, and he got a good run down the back straightaway, so he might have found some speed way up the racetrack where he was at over in turns number 1 and 2. They'd both take the same line in 3 and 4 there, but wow, what a race they're putting on. Jacoby again going to go to the higher groove there. Edson keeps it around the middle of the racetrack, turns it down off turn 2. Jacoby, he's flirting with that wall down the back straightaway.
You couldn't have put a piece of paper between him and the wall a minute ago, and I tell you what, though, he's trying everything he can to get past Edson and get that lead, but I just I don't see him doing it without getting a little rough.
Back behind them, some battles going on around the racetrack. It's a battle for 5th between Nigel Stan and Jacoby, just trying every inch on this racetrack to get a run on that 10 and to try and get around him.
Yeah, he has not given up pursuit of that lead at all in any way, shape, or form. Tires be damned. I don't think they're any more concerned about tires right now than the next guy down. They've maintained that little over 2-second lead over Chad Coleman back there in 3rd for a good 15-20 laps now, and we're just a little bit past the quarter-way mark where the track gets completely blocked up. But, hey, let's hope that doesn't happen. The pace car's about to duck in here, Ben, and we're going to get it going.
Did you just mention the big one?
No, I did not. I did not. That's a figment of your imagination, sir. Here we go.
Pace car to pit road. 27 laps to go, separating one of these drivers from a win in round number 3 in the JGR Offseason Sim Series, powered by Interstate Batteries. Kaboo, banging the gas. We're back underway. And that second row, dropping back as they enter turn number 1. Boy, Edson tried to make it 3 wide with Rich Jet. Jet closed the gap. Jacoby up to 2nd and trying to chase down your leader.
I tell you what, that was a great start. And Mr. Excitement back there in 3rd place now takes 2nd place away. Behind him, though, we've got quite a grudge match going for, oh, wow, that guy washed up really high there for that 3rd spot. I don't think that outside line's ready yet for these guys on new tires there, Ben.
I don't think so. I think the outside line better in the once the tires have got some wear on them. Earlier in the run, though, that bottom lane is where you want to be. Challenge for the lead. Here comes Jacoby to the inside of the number 1.
Jacoby wastes no time getting down the inside, going down here into turn 3 and 4. Coming up, he's going to pull him, it looks like, on the inside and take over the lead. He's bringing the 82 car with him of Coleman. And I tell you what, Edson's back there itching to get by these guys so he can get back up there and fight for the lead as well.
Boy, Edson was pushing Chad Coleman down the front straightaway. Looks like it may be a replay of that on the back straightaway. Edson says we can't let Jacoby get too far out in front of this thing. He's got some good short run speed, and that's exactly what we're up against right now. A short run to the finish at the Monster Mile.
That clean air on the nose of the 88 of Jacoby makes all the difference in the world right now. He's got nobody to slow him down. He's got all the downforce he needs on the front of that car. In the meantime, Edson's got a car in front of him that makes him just a little arrow tight. Ooh, and the 4th place car is in the wall back there.
Wow, that was a close call in front of him there. Gail Brooks in the number 71 up and into the wall, slowed down, and it's going to get real tight off turn 4 for your leader. He has to check up to get around the lap machine.
See, this is what I'm talking about, Ben. Every week I say something, and these guys do the exact opposite. Yeah, they're not going to hit lap traffic. Duh. Anyway, Jacoby handled that really well, though. He was able not to panic when he saw that slower car out there and maintains a pretty significant lead over the 82, but he did lose a little bit of ground to the 82. But in the meantime, back there behind the 82, still have the 10 of Edson, and behind him, Nigel Standish in 4th.
I was going to ask John, how much as a driver does that throw you off a rhythm? You know, if you run up on a lap car like that on one of the corner exit, how long does it take you to get back into a rhythm? How long does it take you to shake that off and continue what you were doing before?
Well, you have to make it quick. I mean, that's happened to me a couple of times. One of my wins at Dover, actually, I got into the back of a lap car. He washed up a little higher than I thought he would coming off the 2, and I got square into his bumper and wound up putting him down on the inside wall. I didn't mean to, but it's a hazard. And it rattles you, man. It rattles you for several laps, especially if you actually make, like that. He almost made contact with that lap car, almost the exact same way I had my problem. So it's just something that really, it's a hazard.
And Chad Cole is loving it. Here comes the 82. 11 laps to go at the Monster Mile. Can the 82 catch the 88? Boy, look at Standish for third. All the way on the apron in turn one, battling Trey Ensign.
Edson's sitting in there, man. That car got in the wall back there. That lap car that Jacoby was fighting with earlier. I believe it was 29. Yeah, that's a Welton back. He got to the wall there and almost got himself out of control there. But yeah, that I don't know what happened to Edson, if he just sitting in there on purpose like that or what. But he washed up a lot and almost gave Standish a shot at the inside there.
So Chad Cole is starting to close that gap. It's now 10 to go, 9.5 as they work down the back straightaway here at Dover. Is he going to have enough time to get to the bumper of the 88? There's a couple of lap cars that they may get into before the finish of this race. 9 laps to go in Delaware, and he is closing about 3/100ths a lap. That's about a half a car length, so you got to pick up the pace.
Right now, Jacoby is his own worst enemy out there on that track. Everything that can go wrong is going through his mind right now. He's got to put that out of his head and focus on getting into these corners and getting off these corners the same way he's been doing for the last 20 laps. And right here, getting by this pace, this lap car, that's a little off the pace, that's going to shake him up a little bit, but it looks like he's going to do a pretty fine job of getting by there. The 82 car waits no time getting on the inside of the 14 there. So like I was saying, though, Ben, he's got to get all that out of his head. He's got to focus on just being as smooth as he can, smooth off, without making any mistake.
I think he's going to have clear ground, at least for about 5 laps. We've only got 7 to go, so if he catches these 2 cars in front of him, hang on, Chad Cole may have a shot. Chad Cole still might have a shot. Nonetheless, look at him over in turn number 2, John. We don't need telemetry. We can see that gap with our eyes starting to close.
Absolutely. I owe that 82 team an apology. I didn't think they had the speed to keep up with Jacoby. They have proven me wrong. They are running down that 88 car. And I tell you what, if Jason doesn't wake up and look in his mirror and see that he's losing ground and start doing something about it, he's going to have a fight on his hands for that lead here shortly.
We all know Chad Cole, I do believe, finished runner-up in the Trans Service Monday Money Series at the Sim 500 Racing League. He is one of the top drivers in all of iRacing. He knows how to save his equipment. He knows how to make an run at the end of a race. He's only got 5 laps to do it, though, here in this one. And he's just not closing quick enough, John. I don't think he's going to get there without a mistake from that 88.
I think you're right, Ben, but look at this right here. John Wilco in the number 97 car, way off the pace right there. He's gonna poke his not poke his nose in there, but he's gonna be a factor in this chase for the lead. And just in front of him, just in front of Jacoby now is the 98 of Steve Herring. That's another lap car. I'm very certain that they're going to catch these guys. So, again, lap traffic may play a part in the finish of this race.
Jacoby opened up a little bit that time at the line. Chad Cole, though, still within striking distance. Here comes Herring. Herring, a very veteran and sportsmanlike move, slows up in the middle of the turn, lets them clear before the exit. Now, 3 to go for Jason Jacoby.
I'm telling you what, right now, Jacoby's his own worst enemy, man. I've been where he is, and you just got to somehow convince your mind to shut the hell up and let me drive. That's what it gets down to, basically.
But here comes Cole. Boy, he's closing in. We're coming to 2 to go this time by at the Monster Mile. Does Chad Cole have anything left? And there's a caution.
And that's going to be the race right. I'll tell you what, I'm so happy for that kid right now. He's a great guy. I've talked to him several times on Facebook, offline and whatnot, off the sim, I should say. Great guy, real nice kid. Got a good head on his shoulders, and he loves the race, man. He's shown it to us, Ben, several times over these last few weeks in both of these series, how much he loves to race. And he races as clean as he possibly can, but he races very hard, very reminiscent of a certain black number 3 that we used to watch years and years ago.
Absolutely. It's now official. Jacoby, winner in round number 3 at Dover. We'll talk to him and the rest of the podium finishers in just a moment as we watch him circle around this 1 mile speedway. I can almost guarantee you what's coming up next, John.
Yeah, they don't want to miss. They don't want to miss this interview that's coming up. Guys, if you're going to take a break, go to the commercial and come back.
Jacoby, Going to burn them down on the front straightaway, though. First, we'll go silent here in the booth. We'll watch him. We'll watch this burnout from the 88 machine, and then we'll talk to him shortly. So Jason Jacoby burning them down here at the Monster Mile, and John Mushkin has worked down to pit road, and he's going to catch up with the driver who finished third.
Driver tonight, I believe you're heading down to Victory Lane for the Old Schools Graphics and Designs Victory Lane interview with Jason, Mr. Excitement Jacoby, and I cannot emphasize this enough, Ben. I'm really jealous of you right now.
Well, you'll get to hear it, though, John. Jason Jacoby here in Victory Lane at the Monster Mile, and how about that? The monkey finally off your back here in the JGR series.
Thanks, Ben. It's like awesome to be here. Thanks so much to Interstate Batteries. I've got one in my car, and they are just awesome, outrageously dependable batteries. And thanks to Joe Gibbs Racing, everyone involved in Sim 500 for putting this on, and everyone, of course, the biggest ones to thank is everyone watching this. It's really cool to be here, and we've had some really good runs here in sim racing, and it's cool to break through and get the victory in like the biggest thing in sim racing.
Let's talk about that final caution, or the first caution rather. When it came out there, you come down, you're already ahead of Edson and the whole rest of the field as far as when it was going to cycle around, but you come down onto pit road, and two guys who kind of rolled the dice on pit strategy stay out. What's going through your mind, and how you're going to work around them?
You know, Ben, I was thinking, like, all I got to do is really just not worry about it at all. You know, it is what it is, kind of just settle in and try to do a good job. When I got to the back bumper of Trey early on, Trey is a wheelman, by the way. He's up front every race, anyone who's not familiar with Trey. But it was cool to be able to catch him. But my computer started lagging a bit, so I had to back off him, which is why I lost so much time toward the halfway mark of the race. And then, you know, once we cycled through the pit stops, I was surprised to get that big of a lead on Trey, and we just went out there and then tried to put together some clean laps and had fun doing so. And then when we got the last yellow, or second to last yellow, Ben, like you said, man, the monkey's off my back, because normally in those situations I lose spots, but this time it worked out and we ended up getting the win.
Worked out perfectly, and in Victory Lane tonight, Mr. Excitement, John calls him, Jason Jacoby. We take a short vacation 2 weeks, and then we come back for dirt. How you feel about that?
That's really cool, because I actually don't run dirt that much, but it's going to be a lot of fun to do that for the first time in the league race, and so I'm really looking forward to that. And I heard that Chad Cole is the admin for that. So once again, thanks to admins Joey Gattina, Chad Cole, Brian Wortman. I'm looking forward to dirt. It's going to be fun. But also Ben, right quick, I want to say, hey to all my fellow Kyle Busch fans out there watching and rooting me on. Really cool to have everyone watching again.
Awesome, Jason. Who do you want to thank for putting you in Victory Lane tonight?
I'd like to thank all my viewers over on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/jjacoby88, but everyone watching on the Joe Gibbs Racing stream. And also, I have a website, simracingjason.com. You can find out all about my sponsors who help out as well, as far as if you need a brand new computer to go iRacing with. The best deals are available on my website. You can find out who to contact for that. The reason I had lag on this computer is because it was kind of rushed out to me because we had to get it last minute. my builder want to get me something better. But anyway, guys, yeah, simracingjason.com, racing without the G, and we'll see if hopefully you guys can get into iRacing if you haven't done it yet. My sponsor for computers, guaranteed lowest prices.
There you go. Jason Jacoby, winner here at Dover. And boy, John, good to see. Finally gets the monkey off of his back in the JGR Offseason Sim Series powered by Interstate Batteries and in Sim 500 competition.
Tell you what, Ben, if it holds like it has for the last couple of weeks with this series, the replay over on the JGR Facebook page gets about 40,000 views. So Jacoby just picked himself up a victory in front of a whole bunch of people.
Absolutely. And if you're watching the race tonight and want to tune into the replay, all you have to do is wait for us to close the broadcast down, and then it will be available on the Joe Gibbs Racing Facebook page. It'll be available on our YouTube, youtube.com/The Sim Racing Network. So just an unbelievable race again, John. A spectacular show these guys put on from the Monster Mile.